welcome to No Broken Legs. I am your host, Evan Belfiore. It is week one of the NFL football season, and you know what that means. It means I have Jimmy Champ on the line. Jimmy, how are you on this Friday night?
Oh, man, I'm doing good. Tis the time of year. Had my first week of fall bowling last night, and we got a Friday night NFL game on right now, so it's the best time of the year, man.
Yes, right now the Chargers are up 7-0. Chiefs look like they have the ball. We'll see if they can do something before. Oh, there's still 14 minutes left in the second quarter. I misread that. Anyway, 7-0 Chargers as we talk, and we have a special guest on the phone, and that is Sully Shaheed. Sully, how are you this evening?
Man, I couldn't be better, bro. Anywhere I can be in the world, I'm glad to be with y'all, brother. I appreciate the invite. We're going to have some fun tonight. We're going to have some fun.
And we're happy to have you on, and just want to make a mention to check out the DFS Deli that Sully runs. He will have all of your fantasy football needs. That's not really Jimmy and I's forte, but Sully, he's your man for that very thing.
Yeah, I'm actually recording right after we get off our call here. Like I said, check us out, DFS Deli, YouTube, podcast, anywhere you stream. We'll be available, man. First episode of the year coming out, and week one is always full of shenanigans, and we're here for it. So I'm ready. I'm ready to talk some sports betting, some spreads, some picks, parlays, all that good stuff with you guys. And like I said, man, we can be anywhere in the world, but I'm here with y'all, and I appreciate that.
And I'll put a link to the DFS Deli episode for week one in the description of this video. But before we can get to that, it is week one. We have one game in the books. The Philadelphia Eagles beat the Dallas Cowboys last night in a really weird game where offenses ruled the first half, defenses ruled the second half, and Jalen Carter played like half a play. Jimmy, any quick thoughts on last night's game?
Not really. The Jalen Carter thing was very, very weird. I don't know quite what that was about. The offenses for both teams looked pretty good. But we know this time of year, usually the offense is ahead of the defense to start the year. And then like week 3, 4, the defenses usually start to catch up. So I wasn't surprised the offenses looked good, but the Cowboys offense looked pretty good, except CeeDee Lamb forgot how to catch footballs a couple times. But I think it was probably, both teams were probably pretty okay with the outcome. Like I'm sure Dallas would have rather had a win, but they had a lot of positives. And then for Philly to come out there with a win, but it just feels like as the year goes on, A.J. Brown and Devonta Smith are going to be two frustrated guys. Like I just get that vibe already early. Like they're not happy with the offense, but I don't think it really matters if they're back to where they want to be at the end of the year.
That's probably a good point. Sully, what are your thoughts on last night's game?
Well, I'd like to give a shout-out to Jalen Carter for making the Hawk Tour girl irrelevant again. It's just going to suck hearing that for about a whole week. Literally all I was watching on the $4 network when I was at the gym was them repeating the spit over and over and over again. And you know what? It's very dumb of him to even think about doing something like that. I get it. You know, there were a few fights last night. The competitive spirit, you're the defending Super Bowl champs, defending your home turf. I get all that. But Jalen Carter, you're literally schemed against for the Dallas offense, and you took yourself out of the game before the game started. So That is completely unacceptable. Cowboys fans lament. I mean, we expect this from, you know, not the Cowboys, but the Eagles, man. Like, you're a Super Bowl defending champ with pedigree now. And as Jalen Carter, you're one of the better teams or better players in the league. You can't be doing that kind of stuff. But like Jimmy alluded to, you know, offenses looked good up until the lightning storm hit. And that was when us on the East Coast decided to go to bed. Because I ain't watched a single second of that game after that. Daddy had to go to sleep to get his girls to school. So, you know, but I did see the highlights. CeeDee Lamb, a lot of drops. Might have cost him the game. I get that. But, again, you know, as far as fantasy comes, I mean, A.J. Brown and Devonta Smith owners, I'm sorry, you're going to have to deal with games like that. I mean, A.J. Brown's going to be reading his book on the sideline a few times this season. But all I care about is dubs, man. And they got one last night. So, you know, there's a lot to build on for that.
I think we'll know if it's all about the dubs when they stop getting them. And that's what would worry me from what I saw last night with Philadelphia. This team 2 years ago just fell off a cliff because we never really figured out why. Maybe Nick Sirianni lost the locker room, but he's still there and that locker room's still the same. So I'm super intrigued after what I saw to see what happens with this team the rest of the season, because the potential for them to tear each other apart and fall off a cliff is there because we've already seen it happen once. But they're also probably the best team in the league when fully healthy and fully engaged. So the ceiling floor is, that gap is amazing. It'll be really fun to see what they do with that. Let's move on to the games that will be played this Sunday. Our first game, we always start with our hometown Cleveland Browns. As bad as they may be, they open the season at home at 1 o'clock. They are playing the Cincinnati Bengals. The Bengals are 5.5-point favorites now. This was 4 at one point, and now it's all the way up to 5.5. The over-under sits at 48.5, minus 245 for the Bengals, plus 200 for the Cleveland Browns. Jimmy, Cleveland Browns, Cincinnati Bengals, what do you think?
So before I get into the pick, in case we've picked up any new listeners, if you're new to our podcast or if you're new to sports betting in general, I thought I would just kind of give you a quick rundown on the way the numbers work. So when you see that number of minus, like say a number like minus 118, that means you would have to place a $118 bet to win $100. And then if you have it on the plus side, like say a plus 188, that is how much you would win with a $100 bet. So all the numbers are pretty much based out of 100. This is so intriguing because Kevin Stefanski tends to have Cincinnati's number. The Browns have to win this game because I think it's the only game they have a chance to win in the first month and a half of the season. And we know the Bengals defense is bad, and I think the Browns offense is going to be bad. But trying to guess which unit will be worse has really had me flip-flopping all day. I think the Bengals are going to win, but it feels more like a field goal than a touchdown. So I'm going to take the Browns at plus 5.5.
Sully, what are your thoughts on this upcoming game?
Jimmy, I am very disappointed in you, sir. The flip-flopping has to stop, all right? This is the easiest game. I'm glad that this is at the beginning of the show, because this is the easiest bet on the board. Okay?
No.
1 and 11. You know what that number means, Jimmy?
Pretty sure. Go ahead.
That's Zach Taylor's record.
Yeah.
Since he's been a coach in the first 2 weeks of the season. 1 and 11. As you alluded to, the Bengals defense is trash. And if any spark is to be had on the Browns offense, it's with 40-year-old Joe Flacco. So in the 5 starts that he will have this year, because let's face it, he's going to be 1-4 after the first 5 games. But this is the one. This is the one. History tells us that the Bengals are going to lose. They're on the road. This line, I don't know why it's moving in the opposite direction. It should be going towards the Browns. But if any game that they're going to show up for, and that's under one condition, if they let Joe Flacco cook. If they try to play conservative, try to run, no. You got to let the boy fling it around the yard. And, Evan, I know one of your favorite bets all last year is the Joe Flacco interceptions, no matter what team he was on. So he's going to throw some picks, but that's conducive to what the Browns want to do. If you can keep the Bengals offense off the field, which is what he does, throw pick sixes, and the more the Browns are on offense, they have a chance, not even a chance. They can win this game. So I think that give me the Browns, give me all the Browns, give me that plus 200. Again, it's the easiest bet on the board, man. History shows that the Browns are going to accidentally win this game, if by one man, and that's Joe Flacco.
Yeah, I think this will be. I think to answer your question, I think the reason the line is moving the other way is there are plenty of people like myself worried about what the Browns' skill players are going to look like. But it's also, this is going to be, Zach Taylor, this may be the hot seat year. This may be the hot seat year for Zach Taylor, as, this is the first year I can remember recently where Burrow has started the season healthy. They actually played their ones in the preseason. They're actually taking the start of the season serious in Cincinnati. It's been very unserious the last couple of years, and they realize it's cost them. So with all of those things together, if they do take this loss to the Browns, Zach Taylor may be immediately on the hot seat to start the year.
I mean, he should be. You know, they have one of the highest paid offenses in football. You signed both T. Higgins and Jamar Chase to mega deals. Joe Burrow was already on a mega deal. And then you give your best defender, your only defender, quite frankly, a one-year deal basically saying, here's your money up front, you can leave next year. So they've sold out on one side of the ball. So you think that even the organization is taking themselves seriously? Yeah, I get they were playing in the preseason, but you know who else is playing in the preseason? The Browns. So if 40-year-old Joe Flacco was playing in the preseason, and he carved up every offensive drive that he had, by the way. So if there's any juice left in this man, it's right now, right here on Sunday. Joe Flacco, whatever his overs are for yardage, touchdowns, take it. Take it. In DFS, in fantasy, we're following the Bengals all year, bro. And it starts on Sunday. So, yeah, give me all the Browns, all of it, please. Just more of it.
My first instinct on this game was the Browns probably lose and cover. The movement in the line, I think, is indicative of nobody believing in this Browns defense. I think that's just what it is. They don't think the Browns are going to be able to score with Cincinnati. And I think a big part of that, too, is they're looking at Newsome on Chase or Higgins every single play, or somebody worse. This afternoon really, and listening to a lot of the local media, they are building this game up as the game the Browns have to win for the reasons that you gave, Jimmy, the reasons you gave, Sully. Their rest of the start of the schedule is an absolute nightmare. And if they don't win this game, they're staring down the barrel of 0-5. And that's going to make a lot of people uncomfortable because Jimmy Haslam has clearly shown that Barry and Stefanski are perfectly safe. That it's fine. Everybody fucked up with Deshaun Watson. He'll take the blame, and then he's going to write the checks. My pick is to take the Browns with the points because the Cincinnati defense is just too bad to be given a 5.5 point spread. A late touchdown from Joe Flacco with like less than a minute left, and they try an onside kick, don't get it, kneel out the clock, lose by 3. How many times have we seen some version of that game? That feels like what we see. That feels to me like what we see on Sunday.
That they've had.
Unless the only way the Browns can win is if the defensive line is just an absolute terror and Joe Flacco's sacked like 9-10 times. I don't know if the Browns can win any other way because their secondary is so beat up.
Yeah, Flacco's not taking 9 or 10 sacks. He's dirt and 10 balls. Like, he's not.
Yeah, he probably is. Or he's just throwing up to whichever side of the field Denzel Ward isn't, to Higgins or Chase, and saying, they'll probably get it.
I mean, isn't that how Cincinnati plays offense anyway? I mean, like, it's funny because, like, I know, this is a sports betting show, and we talk about, hint at futures and stuff. Like, this is going to be where if the Bengals lose this game, you can get the Joe Burrow MVP odds at their lowest. Because this is that award. That award is literally, it's your turn.
Well, I mean, they gave him the Comeback Player of the Year award. He played a quarter of the season and threw 10 interceptions.
Right, but again, if you're
so they'll give it to him.
Yeah, if you're making futures bets, man, because like let's say the Bengals made the playoffs last year, I guarantee Joe Burrow would have been in consideration for MVP.
Yeah,
but because Josh Allen was so dominant on that Bills team, even though Lamar's stats dunked on him, it was his turn. So if the Bengals can make the playoffs this year and Joe Burrow puts up the same stats, if not a little better, it's his turn. So again, if they lose this game, which I think they are, and they turn around and get 10 or 11 wins or whatever the case is, and Joe Burrow puts up the monster stats that he typically does, bang those futures. Bang that Joe Burrow MVP now. Because it'll be the perfect time. Perfect time.
Because his odds are only going to go down from here.
Correct.
Yeah.
So a little futures teaser for the listeners. Little futures.
I like it.
I thought Sully brought up something interesting when he said they need to let Joe Flacco cook. When Flacco played 2 years ago, Jimmy, I had a nice little run with the Flacco parlay. We took over on yards, touchdowns, interceptions, and attempts. The Browns are probably going to try to run the ball. How long do you think they try to stick with the run until they let Flacco sling it?
I think you can do whatever you want against the Bengals defense.
Well, if they can do whatever they want behind that big offensive line, then they're probably going to run the ball 30 times.
Yeah, I think it's, we know even in bad season, Kevin Stefanski's scripted plays are always really good, and I expect nothing different there. I think at some point, just because the Bengals offense will be explosive, you'll have to just go to the pass. But I think you can do whatever you want against this Bengals defense.
And I think you just showed a couple of bets that we should be thinking about every week moving forward, not just this week. But Sully brought up whoever Cincinnati's playing, like those are the guys you want to go with offensively and for your parlay bets. Anybody going up against Cincinnati. Kevin Stefanski, Cleveland Browns, first drive touchdown bet, probably getting good odds on that everywhere. And then,
hey, listen, man,
and then the third
touchdown or reception prop is like 4.5 right now. Like, come on, you got to smash that.
And then the third bet I was thinking of was whoever's playing Cincinnati, first drive touchdown.
Yeah.
Like if you bet those every week, you're like right now we would expect to hit more than half of those.
I'm game.
Any final thoughts on this game, Sully? Any final thoughts on this game, Sully?
On this game in particular, man, like I said, I think it's one of the more fun games on the board that's more off the radar because, like, again, my fantasy football brain is operating in full effect right now, because we're 2 games out, or 2 days out, I should say, is that the redrafters are in daily fantasy, the best ball drafters are in daily fantasy, and a lot of the guys that didn't go early are your Joe Flaccos, who probably went undrafted in 100% of your leagues. Guys like Cedric Tillman, who was cooking towards the end of the season last year, even some time that he spent under Flacco. Njoku is very, very close with Joe Flacco, so he's going to be one of the bigger targets. And even though that Jerry Jeudy only scored 3 touchdowns last year, remember he's a 1,000-yard receiver. So like when he cooks, he cooks. So if this offense can get going by the pass, I don't trust Dylan Sampson. I don't trust Jerome Ford all that much. So even though I know they want to establish the run, I think it's going to be via the pass. And again, you can do whatever you want to this Bengals defense, period. So if they let Joe Flacco cook, again, you love the overs. You love his overs on total yardage. You love his overs on interceptions because guess what? He's going to throw a couple interceptions. Take the Chief plus 4.5 receptions. Like, that's the easiest money on the board, I like Jerry Jeudy over 60 yards. I like Cedric Tillman over 40 yards. So if you can ladder that up a little bit, like 3 or 4 leg parlay with some of the Browns' offensive pieces, go for it. I think this is the day you can get away with it. Because, again, like you said, Evan, we're going to follow the Bengals all year. All year. Their defense is ass. Ass. So whatever you can pile up against the Bengals, do it. Please do it. And I think the Browns are going to start 1-0. I think they're going to start 1-0, man.
So the parlay that we ran was over passing yards, over touchdowns, over interceptions, and over pass attempts. So that would be 250, 1 touchdown, 1 interception, over 36.5 attempts is as a parlay plus 260. Now if you take out if you go 2 touchdowns, that same parlay with 2 touchdowns is plus 395.
Wow.
Brother.
And they were regularly throwing close to 40 passes when Flacco was in there. Stefanski loves to throw the ball, man. Especially if this turns into one of those pace games where maybe the Browns defense is struggling a little bit. Cincinnati's finding ways to carve them up, moving down the field. Like, Stefanski's going to get nervous and realize, like, oh, shit, we're going to have to score like 35 points. I'm just going to have to let it go.
This is free. It's free. It's free. Again, I need to preface your podcast, Ev, because you and Jimmy do a great job week after week when it comes to, the sports betting aspect of it. Anybody that your listeners actually listen to outside of you guys are spitting opinions. You two are spitting facts.
Oh.
Okay? So y'all are right
Yes.
where y'all need to be.
Stop,
Period.
but,
if
you
y'all
know,
ain't
go
subscribed
on.
to Broken Legs, man, y'all are losing out on a lot of money because this parlay is free. It's free. It's free.
It hit, I think, 4 of the 5 games that he played, and it hit in the playoffs.
It's free.
It didn't work as well last year, but that whole situation was just a disaster. So
yeah, we don't talk about Indy around here. We don't talk about it.
He's back with Stefanski, who's going to be like, oh yeah, I can just run play action all the time and not even have to run the ball. So he can, because that's Stefanski. He wants to be the guy that, he's smarter than everybody. So his third and fourth options are going to be open all day.
Let's go Cedric Tillman.
Cedric Tillman, over 40 yards, bro. Book it. I'm telling you, over 40, easy money. Easy money.
There are other games, everybody else who hasn't yet played or is currently playing, and we'll start in Washington, where the Armada are hosting the New York Giants. Washington, 6-point favorites. Over-under sits at 45.5. Minus 278 money line for the Commanders. Plus 225 for the Giants. Sully, what are your expectations for this game?
The Commanders should walk in this one. The Giants are going to be a joke of a team. I mean, Russell Wilson is cooked. The Giants will be a fun team when Jameis gets behind the helm for a few games, puts up a bunch of numbers, and then they eventually relinquish the starting job to Jackson Dart. I think they are a rebuilding franchise that have pieces. I mean, Malik Neighbors is an absolute freak. They have a great defensive line. And the Commanders, they want to run the ball. Like, don't get it twisted. They want to run the ball. But against this defensive line, it's going to be extremely hard. So I think that if they can get their production through the air, I think they'll be just fine. F1 did sign his contract, so he's good to go. But the real question is that they are cycling a lot of backs through Austin Eckler, Lil Bill, Crosby Merritt, and a couple other guys Chris Rodriguez and Austin. The backfield is trash. But at the same time, if they stay away from just trying to establish it, I think they'll be just fine. I mean, F1 is great for those splash plays. Jay Daniels can get it done with his legs. But it's a lot of eerily similar vibes to RG3, right? So I don't think that'll come out in this game in particular because the Giants are just that bad. But at the same time, I think you can see a big regression to this Commanders team. This line kind of scares me. It's one of those things that I'm definitely going to stay away from. I'm not touching this game with a 20-foot pole from betting or fantasy-wise. I think this is a scratch for me. But at the same time, we want to look at things that go along in the progression of the season. Does he have a little sophomore slump? Because, I mean, getting to the NFC Championship game in your rookie year is pretty big. So what are the expectations behind the Commanders? Can they live up to it? I think they win this game. I think they'll be able to cover, but not by a lot. So it's one of those bets where I feel like a field goal or garbage time touchdown at the end might be the difference between hitting and losing out on the spread of this game. So I'm staying completely away from it, but I think the Commanders do get the victory at least.
I agree that I think Washington wins the game. I think they cover. I'm fading New York as long as Russell Wilson's the quarterback. Jimmy, what do you think happens?
Yeah, I agree. Sully and I are on the same page. You remember, I have the Armada just missing out on going back to the playoffs, so I do believe there'll be a regression there from the Armada. But if they are close to who most people think they are, they have to be a touchdown better than the Giants. So I'll take the Armada minus 5.5. And I totally agree with you, Sully. I think the Giants are going to look like a mess until Jackson Dart's in the quarterback.
That's when they become interesting. Because we know, they'll be interesting when Jameis is in there, but in terms of long-term thinking and winning, no offense to Jameis.
I don't know. I mean, you saw the way Dable was looking at Jackson Dart during the preseason.
Yeah, that's a very good point. Our next game is a double revenge game. the Pittsburgh Steelers are traveling to New York to take on the Jets. The Jets have the Steelers' old quarterback, and the Steelers have the Jets' old quarterback. His name's Aaron Rodgers. You might have heard of him. The Steelers are 3-point road favorites. 37.5 is the over-under. Minus 155 for the Steelers. Plus 130 for the Jets. Sully, who comes away with the revenge win here?
Hey, listen, real quick before I give the prediction on this one, can we both agree, can we all agree that Jameis Winston should be the permanent backup quarterback for every team in the NFL?
He's just waiting with a helicopter, and he just flies in whenever somebody gets hurt. I can totally on board with this.
Until a team is like, oh, shit, my quarterback is down.
He should be he should be the emergency quarterback for all 32 teams. And
he's the NFL's treasure. Everybody gets to use it.
Remember when we played football back in the day and we had an odd number, so there was an all-time quarterback?
Yeah.
That's Jameis. It's Jameis. So I'm sorry, I just had to get that out. So Jets Steelers, wow. Double revenge game. Wow. This one is another stay away from me on the board. I do not like when the Steelers are favored ever, only because they win the games they're not supposed to, and they lose the games that they're supposed to win.
Yep.
So them being favored in this one against the Jets, who are essentially another rebuilding franchise, I think this is going to be downright ugly. I think the under is very, very feasible when it comes to this game. I think that both offenses has one, maybe two weapons that you can, take home on an offensive side. Like the Jets' number 2 target is Jason Taylor's son. So what are we doing building around this offense behind Justin Fields? So I think their inability to move the ball is going to be a problem against the Steelers front. And now that, TJ Watt got paid $1 higher than Myles Garrett, so he can shut the hell up. I think he's still going to be a menace, and Justin Fields is going to do just enough to lose this game. So begrudgingly, I'm going to take the Steelers in this one, and I think they cover it.
Oh, you think they win by more than the field goal? What say you, Jimmy?
Yeah, I don't think they'll. I think they cover this easy. They're at least a field goal, if not a touchdown, better than the Jets, even with a maybe broken Aaron Rodgers. But I agree with Sully. 37.5 isn't a lot of points. But I think if you feel the need to bet on this game, the under is the safest bet.
I concur with the under. Home dogs, week 1 of the NFL, are
that's rough.
Two-thirds.
That's a lot.
They win 2/3 of the time. They cover 2/3 of the time. I'm with what you said earlier, Sully, about the Steelers losing games they should win. This is probably a field goal game, but I'm taking the Jets. I'm out on Aaron Rodgers. I'm out on Aaron Rodgers.
Okay.
What?
Hey, listen, I can get behind it. I ain't mad at it.
I still think the Steelers are going to make the playoffs because, they made the playoffs last year with the quarterback play that they got. And I think that's basically what they're going to get from Aaron Rodgers. And this game's going to be ugly. The Jets are going to be the best defensive version of themselves they were good last year until they fired, what's his face?
Robert Saleh.
Yeah. The defense was not the problem on that team. And then they were bad on defense for a while. Now they've got a good defensive a good defensive coach in there. I think the defense is going to look good. I think you guys are right. This is going to be like a 14-13 game or some ugly number. Take the under. Don't bet anything else. Don't let this shit fest ruin your Sunday betting. Save your money and put it on this game where the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are traveling to Atlanta to take on the Falcons. Buccaneers are 1.5-point road favorites. 47.5 is the over-under. Minus 120 for Tampa Bay. Plus 100 for Atlanta. Jimmy, I love Tampa to win this game. I think the 1.5 is insulting. What do you think?
Yeah, I agree. I think it's just the Falcons are getting a lot of buzz. A lot of people have them as a borderline playoff team. The Bucs are really beat up too. The Bucs are really beat up. But I think the weapons they have left on offense and defense will be enough. I think Penix is going to look different to start the season with expectations. A little different than what he came into last year. But I have the Bucks. I have the Bucks going pretty far in the NFC. If you happen to listen to our NFC podcast, so I got to take the Bucks here. They're going to be in all my money line parlays this week.
Sully, do you think Baker and his Buccaneers get it done with a win?
Oh, baby. The game of the week from a fantasy perspective, man. I've been waiting for this my entire offseason. Bucks, Falcons, holy moly, I'm ready for this game. 1.5, so basically a coin flip. You know what, man? Tampa going indoors to Atlanta. I think it's a coming out party for Michael Penix Jr.
Wow.
I think it's time that Tampa realizes how bad they are in the secondary. And I think the lefty, the man with the plan, we saw what Kirk Cousins did to this team twice last year. His only 2 good games, by the way. I think you need to find as much room as you can for Drake London overs. I think you need to find as much room as you can for Kyle Pitts overs. Yeah, I said it. It's the year of Kyle Pitts. It's finally
It's the 4th time in a row that it's the Kyle Pitts year.
It's the Kyle Pitts year. It is finally upon us, gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen that listen to the No Broken Legs podcast. It's time. It's Kyle Pitts time. It's Drake London time. It's Michael Penix time. I think they outright win this game. I think the Bucs are going to win this division eventually. However, I think they defend home turf on Sunday. And the Falcons, in the highest scoring game on the slate.
Yeah, absolutely.
The highest scoring game on the slate, get the victory. So give me that money line. Give me the Penix overs. Give me the Pitts overs. Give me the London. Give me everything that has nothing to do with Bijan Robinson. Because the Bucs can still defend the run as if their life depended on it. So I think this volume of offense comes through the air. I think Penix showed flashes last year, and I think he's going to have some highlight reel throws on Sunday. Give me the Falcons plus 1.5. Come on, man. That's too easy. That's too easy. Give me the Falcons.
Up next, we have the Arizona Cardinals traveling to New Orleans. The Cardinals are 6.5-point favorites. Over-under sits at 43.5. Minus 298 for Arizona, plus 240 for the Saints. Sully, go ahead, man.
Come on, man. We don't need to spend any time on this. The Saints are a dumpster fire. Like, why do we need to even talk about this game? Like, the Cardinals are going to win. James Conner's going to lose his mind. Kyler doesn't have to do anything. The Saints are trash. I mean, they are so bad. Spencer Rattler, sir.
Well,
that's literally all you need to say about the Saints.
He does kind of look like Patrick Mahomes.
Brother, I would rather no.
Not throwing the ball or playing football, just like in appearance.
Yeah, in physical appearance only. Although Patrick Mahomes is not playing very well right now. Update on the score: 3-13.
Yeah,
close the second quarter. Patrick Mahomes not even looking like Patrick Mahomes. Maybe Spencer Rattler can fare better than he is right now. But we don't ever need to talk about the Saints, man. The Saints are gonna win one game this year, and it ain't on Sunday. Just take everything Cardinals. You're fine.
Jimmy, do you agree?
No, absolutely not. I don't agree.
Whoa!
I don't agree with everything Sully just said. The Saints are probably going to win. The Saints are probably going to win one game this year, and there's no way you're 100% certain it's not this one. There's no way. Whoa! The Cardinals, there's no reason to believe the Cardinals are that much better than the Saints. I think this is probably a field goal game. I'm staying away from it because I got to see both these teams, just how bad they're both going to look. But I'm not totally sold on the Cardinals starting out this week with a win.
Jimmy, when we talked about the NFC, I mentioned how the Cardinals have this tendency to always be the team at week 5 or 6 where we're like, oh, man, Cardinals, 4-3. They could win the NFC West if they go on a little run, and then they fall apart because Kyler Murray can't play in the second half of seasons because, I don't know, he gets tired, Call of Duty comes out, whatever. I like the Cardinals to cover here. I like them to win. I think Arizona's going to look pretty good over the course of the first 6 or 7 weeks when their schedule's a little lighter. And they always start hot and make me angry, and I'm tired of them doing that to me. So I'm going with their trend that they've shown the last few years. I like Arizona to be good this week and for the next few weeks before they fall off the cliff.
Evan, spoiler alert, the Cardinals are making the playoffs this year, brother. I'm sorry to tell you, bro. Look at the schedule and tell me that the Cardinals cannot rattle off 10 wins. Please, just go and look at the damn schedule.
But the Cardinals stink, too.
The Cardinals cannot win 10 games. No problem.
Brother, we will make a friendly bet because this is recorded and posted on the internet and live forever.
Arizona might not win a game in their division.
Go back to this episode when Sully said the Cardinals are making the playoffs, and you just nod your head and go, motherfucker, he was right. Like, it was just like the last time, a couple times we talked, Jimmy, when I said the Bucks was on their way up, and I said the Bucks was going to win the division, and you laughed at me. And what happened? The Bucks won the division and messed around and won a playoff game, just like I said. So the Cardinals are the team this year, man. Not
Sully,
only are they going to dominate on Sunday, it's going to keep going.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah, of course.
How many times has Kyler Murray won more than 8 games in his NFL career?
Brother, none until this year.
One. He did it once. Remember, they did it one time. He made the playoffs and then played the worst playoff game. I would love to see him in a playoff game because then I know just about everything against him because he can't do it. He just can't do it. And we've spent too much time talking about
than he already is. Yeah, I know.
Let's move on to another game that we probably shouldn't talk about for very long. The Carolina Panthers are traveling to Jacksonville. The Jaguars are 3.5-point favorites. 46.5 is the over/under. Plus 164 for the Panthers. Minus 198 for the Jags. Jimmy, how much of this game are you going to watch, if any?
I will definitely want to catch some of this game, right? I think these are two teams where, there's a lot of people that have a lot of variance on these two teams. I think these are two probably bottom 5 or 10 teams in the league. I don't think the amount of weapons Jacksonville adds overcomes Trevor Lawrence being a bottom half quarterback in the NFL now. This is complete stay away from me. For the point of the pod, I'm going to take the Jags, but I don't want anything to do with this. I want to see exactly what they look like. If you do have an inkling that the Panthers are going to have a little bit of a bounce back from last year, that plus 164 on the money line is pretty nice for them, though.
I'm with you. I think Jacksonville wins this game, even though I wouldn't bet this game just because there's a lot of variables. But, Sully, what is your expectation for these two teams?
Trevor Lawrence is going to prove why he was a waste of a pick. He's going to continue to
Jimmy and I both had their under.
Yeah, they're going to prove all the naysayers in Jacksonville and around the country correct. I think Trevor Lawrence is overrated from the start. And no matter what kind of weapons you put around him, he's just not a quality quarterback. He is middle of the road. He is backup at best, and I think he's going to prove it. I think this Panthers team is on the way up. I think Bryce Young got the light turned on finally after, his benching in the middle of the season last year, and he proved that he wants to be worthy of that pick that they selected him over C.J. Stroud. I think that Bryce Young takes a lot of steps forward this year. I think this is a double-digit win team, and if not flirting with it. And I think the Panthers are going to shock a lot of people this year. So give me the Panthers, easy game. And, again, I think there's going to be continuing swirling doubt in Jacksonville. So I think the Panthers, with their solid run game, Chuba Hubbard is not exciting, he's not flashy, but he's solid and consistent. I think adding Tet and the emergence of Xavier Legette on the offensive side for the Panthers are going to be a plus for this team. And they've always had a decent defense, but, they have one of the best cornerbacks in the game in J.C. Horn. And I think that they can shut down a lot of teams. So it'll be sloppy. I think it'll be a little sloppy at first, but the Panthers will get this one done. So give me the Panthers to cover that spread for sure.
I don't know how you can trust a Carolina defense that gave up 30 points per game last year. I was looking at this game with Trevor Lawrence in a lot of the ways that I look at this game, in a lot of the same ways I look at the Browns playing the Bengals. If the Browns offense looks really bad on Sunday, that's going to be a problem all year. Because if you can't do it against Cincinnati, you ain't going to be able to do it against Baltimore or Pittsburgh or any of the other teams you're going to be playing. And it's the same with Trevor Lawrence. If he can't get the job done against a defense that gave up 30 points per game last year, that team could make remarkable improvement and still be below average. So if you're Trevor Lawrence and you're going to do something moving forward, you have to do it this Sunday. I don't like the Raiders' defense, but I like the Raiders' weapons, and I oddly think this is going to be a pretty high-scoring game. I like the over, and I'm thinking this is like a 27-24, 28-24 game. Give me the Patriots. Sully, you mentioned them just a second ago.
I love you both.
The Denver Broncos. A lot of smoke being blown up their butts. The Tennessee Titans come to town with Cam Ward making his debut. Broncos 8.5-point favorites. 42.5 is the over/under. -410 for the Broncos. +320 for the Titans. Jimmy, what are you expecting from Cam Ward in his debut?
I mean, I don't know. It's like it's been like media blackout in Tennessee, man. Like for me, sometimes it's even hard to find like clips of him in camp. I have no idea what he's going to be like.
He's like some cryptoid that roams the forest.
Yeah, like I don't right now think the Broncos are 9 points better than anybody. This is a stay away for me, but I am going to take for our pot. I'm going to take the Titans to cover because I'm not on the Broncos bandwagon. So I'm curious. I want to see, as we talked about when we did the preview, I think the Titans could make a big jump from last year. If Cam Ward is serviceable to good, I like their weapons. Most of them are veterans that they've added, but I like the weapons in Tennessee. So I think they could make a little jump forward from last year if Cam is pretty good. But I'm excited to watch a lot of this game because I want to see the Broncos not be that good, and I'm curious to see what the Titans look like.
We didn't get to hear your preseason thoughts on Denver. Sully, are you on the bandwagon with them?
Man, no.
Yeah, Jimmy and I both think they're going to struggle and miss the playoffs.
Yeah, man, this hype train is way too loud for me, brother. Like, I love Bo Nix. I think he's gonna develop into a very, very serviceable quarterback. I think they're well coached. I think they're finally getting out of cap hell when it came to the Russell Wilson trade. So I mean, they'll be able to add some pieces. But at the same time, like, y'all need to calm down with this. The Broncos are gonna win the division and go to the play. Like, stop. Like, it's gotta stop. It's blasphemous to think that this team is all of a sudden going to be, this world beater that finally dethrones the Chiefs. I mean, it just can't happen. Not this quickly. I think that if they acquire one more piece, like, remember your number 2 receiver is Marvin Mims. Like, stop with all this stuff, man. You got a rookie running back in the backfield with R.J. Harvey. Like, I think he's going to be good, but at the same time, it's going to come down to Bo Nix and that defense. That defense is sick. So I will give them credit on that front. However, when it comes to the opposite side of the ball in this game with Cam Ward and the boys, remember, as Family Guy said, a boat's a boat, but a box could be anything. It could even be a boat. So I think that the Titans have a mystery box here with Cam Ward. And I think that if anybody's not going to hold anything back, it's going to be the first overall pick in the draft that nobody is talking about. Remember, the Titans don't have a primetime game. Not one. Nope. When's the last time you've seen a number 1 overall pick not get a primetime game to showcase what he has? So I think this, what is it, 8.5? Yeah. Something crazy like that? Nah, man, the Titans can cover that. I don't think they're going to win this game. But 8.5 is a lot of points, bro. So I think the Titans show a little bit of flash, and I think they can cover this 8.5.
I agree with you guys. I think Tennessee can keep it close because I'm with you all both. I'm fading this Denver team that just too many people that like Sean Payton think this team's great. It's just always a bad sign. Our next game,
real, bro.
Our next game is out on the West Coast, and it sees the San Francisco 49ers traveling to Seattle to take on the Seahawks. Niners, 1.5 favorites, 43.5 is the over-under, minus 122 for the Niners, plus 102 for the Seahawks. Sully, are you still a Seahawks fan now that they don't have Geno?
Who are the Seahawks? Where do they play?
They play in Seattle.
Who's the quarterback?
I guess that is.
It's Sam Darnold now. That's who they got, who was in Minnesota last year.
Right. So Seattle is a mystery to me. I think that without the veteran presence of Geno, without the big playability of DK Metcalf, I mean, JSN slides into the number one role. They still have an injury-prone Ken Walker. Jack Charbonnet actually looked better than he ever did on offense. And I think Sam Darnold was carried by throwing to arguably the league's best receiver and an emerging second receiver and one of the top tight ends in the league. And then when he got to the playoffs, he sucked. Even though the game before they got into the playoffs, he sucked. So I think that he got the bag, and I'm proud of him, but the Seattle team is going to suck. So there is no way, in my humble professional opinion, that they can get away with a win in this game. So Seattle, I'm sorry, you're finishing at the bottom of this division because of, another bold call that I made earlier in the show. But it's not looking good for the Seahawks, man. I think they'll be able to establish the run a little bit, but at the same time, Ken Walker averaged under 4 yards a carry last year. He is nothing but big plays. And if they can't get that established with Sam Darnold throwing again, JSN, solid receiver. He's in the wrong spot. He's not Jay Jetta. He's not even Jordan Addison. So wow. I don't think this is going to work out for them very well. I think they outright lose this game. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I think San Francisco wins this game. I'm fading Seattle for a lot of the reasons you just said. Jimmy, what do you think happens on Sunday there in Seattle?
Yeah, I don't know if Seattle really deserved all of that, Sully. Man, that was
they don't deserve it. They don't deserve it. I don't know if they
deserve all of that. Damn. Yeah, I'm on the 49ers here. I know McCaffrey showed up on the injury report, but I think even without CMC, they're easily 2 points better than the Seahawks. This line was a little weird to me. This feels like kind of stealing a little bit, taking the 49ers here.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a Brock party, man. I think it's going to be a Brock party. So, yeah, no way Seattle wins this game. It's just 49ers all day.
Up next, huge NFC North game. The Detroit Lions traveling to Green Bay to take on the Packers, who now have Micah Parsons. You may have heard of that trade. 2.5 is what the Packers are favored by. 46.5 is the over-under, minus 148 for the Pack, plus 124 for the Lions. Jimmy, who do you like in this game?
So I'm taking the Packers here. I think they're a field goal better than the Lions, so 2.5 doesn't scare me. And I think if this game was in 3 weeks, I might lean the Lions, but I just think the coordinators were doing way more work than Dan Campbell would like you to know the coordinators were doing for that team. So I think the Lions are going to struggle. They're still very talented, but I think the first couple weeks the Lions are going to struggle to get their footing with their new coordinators. So I got the Packers here. Now, I will say, if you do like the Lions, I would say go ahead and bet the money line, because if the Lions handle the Packers here, you won't see their money line at plus 110 probably again all season. So if you do like the Lions, it's great odds on the money line bet.
I, in fact, do like the Lions. I think they're being underrated in this game, in this season. I think they're still going to be really good until they get to the playoffs when Jared Goff just turns into a pumpkin. Sully, who do you like in this game?
Hey, here's another spoiler for the season. You ready? You ready to laugh at me? Because you're going to find this very funny. But I've already put my hard-earned American dollars on these two bets. Okay? Are we ready for this? Or can we physically digest what Sully's about to say?
Maybe.
I'm tingling in anticipation.
Because your MVP and your offensive rookie of the year play for the Green Bay Packers.
Green Bay Packers. Yeah, Matthew Golden. Get him out. Get him off your waiver wires if he's out there anyway.
He should have been drafted in the 6th or 7th round. I'm telling you, bro.
He was.
I'm telling you. Not only do the Packers win this game, we're going to start to find out that the Lions are one of the biggest disappointments in football. Like, the loss of all their coordinators is going to be huge for them. And not only that, like, the Micah Parsons trade, great. It's just a cherry on top of what the Packers are cooking right now. So I think not only does Jordan Love have a 4,500-yard season,
Jesus.
Matthew Golden will have a 1,300 to 1,400-yard performance and potentially double-digit touchdowns. Their running game is already solid with veteran presence in the backfield, and I think that this team can absolutely cook. I think that Jordan Love is going to justify the contract that he got as one of the highest paid QBs in the league, and I think this is the year that the Pack is back. So give me the Pack over the Lions, and if you know who made that quote, you a real one after that one. But I think the Lions. I think the Lions are in a lot of trouble this year, man. So the Pack, give me the Pack, give me the points, and again, if you're going to make futures bets, I advise you for Joe Burrow if they make the playoffs. Like I said, if they lose to the Browns, you can get the lowest odds right now. But if you look at the odds for Jordan Love, brother, they're not even close to anything that Joe Burrow can put up. So give me your MVP of the NFL, Jordan Love, and Offensive Rookie of the Year, Matthew Golden. Give me the Pack. Cheeseheads are back, baby.
To your point, Sully, whoever you like in this game, before this game is the time to buy futures on that. Because if Detroit wins this game, they'll likely be favored the rest of the season for their games. And you won't, and you won't see Super Bowl odds as high. Same with the Packers.
Mm-hmm.
Big game. Houston Texans traveling to LA to take on the Rams. Rams are 3-point favorites, 43.5 is the over/under. Minus 166 for the Rams, plus 140 for the Texans. Jimmy, who you got?
So I think at the end of the season, whichever team loses this game, I think they're going to look back at their handful of losses and go, man, I wish we would have grabbed that one early. I'm on the Texans here. I think the Texans are going to win this game outright. Sully, you said a lot of right things a minute ago about Green Bay, but you just had the wrong team because the right bet is actually C.J. Stroud and Jalen Higgins. So you were close. You had the right two positions, just the wrong team. That's all. I love the Texans here. I think the Texans, if they stay healthy, have the best defense in the NFL, and I don't think it's particularly close. Like, they can rush the passer. They have linebackers that like to hit, like to tackle. Oh, you got big bruisers? Let's go. We want them. And I think they probably have the best secondary in the league. I think the Texans team is really good. They're going to come up just short of a Super Bowl year this year, but the Texans are going to be really good, and it's going to be a big marquee win for them to start the season.
How do you see this one playing out, Sully?
Man, Jimmy. I can't express how much heart and love I have for you. You and Evan, man. But you say some outrageous type shit, man. Like C.J. Stroud MVP, brother. Do you realize? Well, at the same time, he probably has to put up MVP numbers because Nick Chubb is his freaking running back.
Well, so, you see that schedule, right?
No offense to Nick Chubb. I see the division he plays in.
You see that schedule?
I see the division.
Yeah, there's lots of opportunities for yards and wins for the Texans, bud.
All right, I get that. And in this particular instance, because Matthew Stafford's back is made out of paper mache, I think that here's your second disappointing team of the freaking year is the goddamn Rams. So this is going to be tough, man, without, in my opinion, a future Hall of Famer, Matthew Stafford. If he takes a hit wrong or whatever, I know he's a soldier. I know he, perseveres through injury like he always has in his career. But the regression monster is here for that team. And in order to take a step forward for the Texans, you need better play out of C.J. Stroud than what you got last year because he had the sophomore slump. I mean, let's be honest about it. So,
Yep.
but again, when healthy, his weapons on offense are just fine. Can Nick Chubb give him a little bit? Or the backfield by committee because Dameon Pierce is there. They got another rookie back there as well. So it's like the Texans will definitely do enough to get the playoffs because of that terrible division.
Yep.
So as far as this game in particular, yeah, I'm with you. Give me the Texans. Give me the Texans.
Sully, one thing I think about the Rams, do you really think it's that much of a step down at this point from Matt Stafford to Jimmy Garoppolo?
Yeah.
Really?
I think Jimmy G was a product of the system,
Okay.
and he's been getting paid ever since.
All right.
Here's the thing, though, with that, Sully. I like the system in L.A., and I like the weapons that are there. Devontae Adams, Puka Nacua, Williams in the backfield. That team has talent, and Sean McVay knows how to use it. So I think they can weather the storm because they play all the West teams for the NFC play the NFC and AFC South divisions. So that's 8 games right there that you're looking at going, we can go 6-2. So I think the Rams can be okay, not in the playoffs with Jimmy Garoppolo, but in the regular season I think they can be okay. But I'm with you guys. I think Houston wins the game this week.
The problem with the Rams is that they got to face the Cardinals twice.
It's enough of that nonsense.
Right there, my brother.
We got an AFC battle of MVPs to talk about here because the Baltimore Ravens are traveling to Buffalo to take on the Bills. Your Bills, Sully. The Ravens are point and a half favorites. Point and a half favorites on the road. 50.5 is the over-under. -125 for the Ravens. +105 for Buffalo. I'm going with Buffalo because this is the only time all season you're going to be able to get them and points. Sully, this is your team. Have at it.
My brother in Christ, just like you just said. This is the only game that the Bills are not favored in the entire year. And if you see anything where the Buffalo Bills are not favored, you take the goddamn Bills, okay? There ain't no way that the Ravens, sans playoff defeat after playoff defeat at the hands of the Buffalo Bills, will be able to come to their flourishing stadium, their new stadium, to get a dub here. I think that Josh Allen is going to do what Josh Allen does. James Cook signed his contract, so he's good to go with the running game. I think the pieces around J17 are going to be obviously in flux. Josh Palmer, a new addition to the team. They brought back Gabe Davis. Khalil Shakur going to be working out of the slot like they normally do on offense. But the Ravens' defense is going to have to step up. And it's the same with the offensive side of the ball because Lamar Jackson, of course, should be 3-time MVP. Honestly, and I'll be the one to say that handily. But again, like I said, the MVP award it's a your turn award now. So that's why J17 got it. But the fact that Lamar Jackson needs to keep up against the Buffalo Bills defense, which is aging. I mean, they brought back Trey White, at cornerback because their first-round pick, Maxwell Hairston, is still hurt. He may or may not play in this game. So, you can attack them on the outsides. But if King Henry can establish a run like he was doing in that playoff game when they lost last year, I think the Ravens can win this game. But having to go to Buffalo is going to be the detriment. If this was in Baltimore, I would take the Ravens. But this is in Buffalo. So I'm going to go ahead and take your reigning, defending, conquering MVP of the NFL, JA17, to cover this 1.5. Like, they'll win outright. So give me the Bills.
Jimmy, you like the Ravens for the season. Do you like them in this game?
So, here at the No Broken Legs podcast, we're nothing if we're not fair and consistent with the things we say. Sometimes it means I get beat up when I say the Lions are a fraud all year long, and I got to watch them win games by 50 points, right? Like, it eventually caught up to them, but I'm going to stand behind that. When I projected out the Baltimore Ravens winning the Super Bowl and what I projected their record to be, because I believe they had the best offseason of any team in the NFL, adding depth and talent all over the defense. I picked them when I was doing my projections. Every marquee game they have, I picked them to win. So I got to take them right now. Ravens are going to spoil the opening home game in the new stadium. Tables might go unbroken. It's going to be a wild one. Baltimore gets the dub.
Jimmy.
Brother, first of all, how you going to say they had the best offseason when the Packers literally acquired the best freaking linebacker in the damn NFL?
Well, maybe.
Jimmy out here talking about tables not going broken. ECW's so disappointed in you. They'll break the tables anyway. I mean, you got to break the tables, win or lose.
You ain't wrong. You ain't wrong.
Take the table home unbroken.
Right, they tailgating right now, Jimmy. Right now on a Friday night for a Sunday night game. The Bills Mafia is breaking tables as we speak. So please, don't even think that no table's gonna go unbroken, brother.
Oh, this is a good time to remind everybody
Ravens,
that there is no drinking allowed in the Muni Lot on Sunday. Just a reminder. There's not allowed to drink in the Muni Lot. Sure. Yeah, that's the actual rule. It's never been enforced. When Cleveland Scene went down there, I was looking at the rules, and then I looked at Cleveland Scene had just all these pictures from the first tailgate of the season, and it's just bottles of liquor and piles of beer and kegs. This is like, I don't think anybody's enforcing that rule.
Oh man, no drinking in this stop.
Yeah, come on, man. Who you fucking kidding?
Come on.
We got one game left to talk about. It sees the Minnesota Vikings traveling to Chicago to take on the Bears. Vikings are 1.5-point favorites. 43.5 is the over-under. -122 for the Vike. +102 for the Bears. Sully, who do you like in this game?
I think that Ben Johnson's offense is a slow-starting offense. It takes forever to get used to this offense. So I think the first 5 weeks of this season, the Bears are going to look like an absolute dumpster fire. However, the latter half of the season, I think this offense is going to cook. So having said that, week 1, unfortunately, they're not going to be prepared for what this Minnesota front is going to be able to bring to them. Again, I think that J.J. McCarthy falls in that a boat's a boat, but a box could be anything. It could even be a boat. We don't know what J.J. McCarthy is. This is his rookie year. But at the same time, he gets to throw to, once again, arguably the best receiver in the NFL, and Jay Jetta, and just throw to that guy, and you'll be just fine. So I think that the Bears are going to be a team that scares some people later on in the season, but this first 4 to 5 games of this Ben Johnson offense is not what you want to look at. So give me the Vikes. I think they'll be able to take this one, even if J.J. McCarthy looks pedestrian, to say the least.
Jimmy, who do you like here?
Yeah, we talked about this when we talked about the NFC. I don't think going from Sam Darnold to J.J. McCarthy is that big of a deal. I think Sam Darnold is always who we thought he was. Just the system and the talent around him made him a lot better last year. I'll have to see the Bears compete with the other 3 teams in the NFC North before I consider picking them in a close game like this. So I'm all over the Vikings here as well.
You guys covered most of it. You guys covered most of it. I'll just add Brian Flores against Cade Williams, new offense, everything Sully said about the complexity. It's going to be a problem day for them. The Vikings win this game. J.J. McCarthy looks good enough. I take the under for sure. I'm not sure either team gets to 20.
I'm with
this.
that. Yep.
This could definitely be one of those where you look up and you're like, the Vikings won 16-6. What?
Right. I mean, you got to realize that 61% of the Week 1 NFL games have been at the under. So this is over the past 2 seasons. So if you feel that these teams aren't ready to produce fireworks, then this might be the time to pound as many unders as you can. Not saying that every game is going to go under because that's not realistic. But again, the numbers don't lie. 61% over the past 10 years say that, the unders are going to hit. So if we are very strong about this Monday night game going under as we were on several other games on the slate, then go ahead and add that to your parlays. We don't have a problem with that. Again, it was the first time in a decade that a team scored over 40 points in the first half and the under hit. Yeah. We saw that on Thursday. So, it's a Week 1 type of thing. We don't know what we don't know. Teams have new head coaches, new offense coordinators, anything under the sun. But Week 1 is one of those weeks where you can play some conservative lines and be all right. So, again, take our words with with a little bit of caution. But if we feel strongly on and under, man, go ahead and pound it, because again, week one has historically shown that they're good money.
Yeah, and this is the first couple of weeks. Vegas is still figuring it out too, and this is when you have those convictions on teams that are undervalued, like the Arizona Cardinals, they're really undervalued. So you can make small bets that'll give you a big payoff with the odds that you're getting with somebody like Arizona or Seattle or whatever team it is that you like. Jimmy and I both kind of like. Jimmy, were you with me on the Raiders? I think they might actually sneak into the playoffs. I think that was like a plus 300 bet.
Yeah, no, I think they're going to fall just short of the playoffs, unfortunately.
Yeah, but they'll be like right in that mix, competing for a playoff spot. Because I bet Seattle in that role last year, and they just fucking lost the tiebreaker, which was a bummer.
Yeah, I would have loved to see that. Trust me, brother. I would have loved to see it.
All right. Well, that's it. That's week one. A lot of football to watch on Sunday. What do we got here? 13-6. The Chargers are still up on the Chiefs. The Chiefs have a little bit of a drive going. They're in field goal range. So we'll see what happens with the rest of this game. If the Chiefs can calm down after losing one of their players again. Damn, that happened last year too. That's got to feel snake bitten there. But if they can pull this game off, definitely puts them in the driver's seat ahead of the Chargers. It'll be talked about to death anyway. Sully, thanks for joining us tonight. I hope you enjoy watching football this weekend.
Yeah, man, it's going to be a great time. Like I said, check us out on the DFS Deli if you're into fantasy football. Like I said, your daily fantasy sports betting needs all over there. YouTube, podcast, anywhere you want to find us, the DFS Deli. Once again, it's week one. I don't know shit. You don't know shit. But we're going to figure it out together as we go along. Once again, every other podcast, they spit opinions. Those boys on the Broken Legs, man, they spit facts. So if you ain't subscribed, do all the things that you need to do for betting on sports, man, you better do it right now, because these boys bring the heat every week. Every week. If
Jalen Carter would have come out and said he was trying to spit facts when he got tossed from the game after, if I was in charge of the league, I'd be like, all right, that's hilarious. No fine. You're back next week. Play on.
That was good, man. I needed that.
Jimmy, thank you for joining me for week one.
Yeah, brother, no place I'd rather be. Just to, give you guys a little bit more, Sully doing a very nice thing of propping us up, man. But seriously, if you're into fantasy football or if you want to get in or into DFS, man, you got to check out the Deli. They are very good at breaking down. Hey, here's how you can make a little bit of money. Here's how you might be able to make a lot of money this week. So definitely check out the Deli. Sully, thank you so much for being with us. Hey, my safest parlay, I think, this week to win Texans, Bucks, Patriots, Dolphins, get you $144 on a $10 bet. I personally think that's a pretty easy way to just start off the season a little. $144. Here you go.
Ooh, I like that. I like that a lot.
Okay.
You can try and see if there's any boosts out there. Although if you're typically winning bets like Jimmy and I do, you don't get any promos because they don't want you to place bets with them. But
they actually take them away.
Hey, yeah, if you're a bad bettor, they give you more. I saw a whole statistical analysis on it. It was pretty wild. But Jimmy, Sully, thanks for joining. I just want to thank all of you out there for listening. Again, the DFS Deli, there will be a link in the description below if you want to do, or for any of you that want to get into fantasy. He's the guy. I listen to you because I usually do one or two single entry tournaments because I tend to do better in those than the multi-entry. So I always like to hear your opinion before putting those bets in. So check them out. The Kansas City Chiefs just scored a touchdown because of course they did. You'll get to see how this game wraps up. Thank you for joining us here at No Broken Legs.